All right, folks, and we're back with the former chair of the House Intelligence Committee, Congressman Pete Hoekstra, and, of course, columnist for Breitbart.com and American Thinker, C. Edmund Wright. Gentlemen, the White House indicating today, or at least reports are indicating, that the White House is considering military action, possible airstrikes to help the people of Iraq, the persecuted minorities of Iraq, who are suffering at the hands of ISIS. And I just don't know, Congressman, you know, what could be done militarily at this point to help these people who are being, you know, told to convert, or they're being killed, or told to get out. I mean, what could we do with airstrikes at this point?
Well, let's put this in context. Number one, the Kurds are our friends. We let them down in 1991, and we ought to make sure that in 2014 we don't let them down again. The first thing that we need to do is we need to provide humanitarian assistance to what are now tens of thousands Iraqis, religious minorities who have been displaced, who have been driven out of their homes, their communities, their villages, at the threat from ISIS of being murdered and slaughtered. These folks need humanitarian aid and assistance, and the U.S. ought to be leading that effort right now. The second thing that we ought to do is the Peshmerga and the Kurds. The Peshmerga are the military of the Kurds. They need military equipment. They need small arms. They need machine guns. They need bullets. The U.S. ought to be immediately providing them with those materials. Number one, to defend themselves and to make sure that ISIS does not increase the territory that it controls in Iraq. But more importantly, the Kurdish forces, the Peshmerga, they are the ones that are capable of driving back and defeating ISIS and stopping the progress that they have made. And in that, the U.S. ought to consider airstrikes, and they ought to consider the use of drones and other technology in problems of Iraq right now. Focus on the two issues of defeating and containing ISIS and the humanitarian crisis.
Right, and no food is part of that crisis. Of course, when it comes to weapons, Edmund, you heard the president's answer last week when asked if we're going to provide weapons to the Ukrainian army, and he said they already have more than the rebels, and the idea is not to increase the violence, it's to lessen it. So no go on arming the Ukrainian army against the Russian rebels. So what do you think is going to happen here?
Oh, you know, I would love for the Obama administration to take Congressman Hoekstra's idea and run with it, but they won't. And, you know, Steve, there's a broader problem. When we've had two consecutive presidents now, including George W. Bush and Barack Obama, who insist that this is a religion of peace, who don't want to, in the Obama administration, they don't even want to use the word terror. You know, when you're that soft from the microphone, you know, it sends a message that people can act with impunity, and that's what we're seeing all over the globe right now.
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen, great to talk to both of you. Congressman, appreciate it, and Edmund, appreciate it as always. We'll speak to you both again real soon. All right, folks, this is going to be very interesting to watch. Now, we'll be back, and we're going to go spinning the law, as we do every week at this time, with our friend Kendall Coffey right after the break. But first, here is You and the Law with Alan Dershowitz to talk about selfies.
Selfies are becoming very popular with everyone. Hey, I'm taking one myself right now. Even the President of the United States takes his own selfies. A selfie, of course, is when you use your own smartphone to photograph yourself alone or with other persons. Now, here's the legal question. After taking the selfie that includes other people, perhaps even strangers or famous people, can you circulate the image on the internet and elsewhere? Well, there's no hard and fast rule, but if the other person is aware that you took the photograph, then that person is generally presumed to have consented to its non-commercial circulation. A smile is usually a good sign of consent. Still, you can't use it for commercial purposes, such as selling a product or promoting a business. For example, when David Big Papi Ortiz, the Red Sox designated hitter, discovered this. He took a selfie with the president, President Obama, during a visit by the world champions to the White House. But when Big Papi tried to capitalize on the selfie by using his opportunity to plug a corporate sponsor, Samsung, the White House was not amused, and he was told to stop. There are also other limits. If it's a selfie involving someone's private sexual life, the other person has the right to assume that it was made purely for personal amusement and not for public disclosure. Being photographed in a compromising position does not create the same presumption of consent as does smiling in a photo. So remember, all selfies are not the same, and act accordingly. I'm Alan Dershowitz for Newsmax TV.